Thank you. And let's go into some questions and comments. All right.
So straightforward with such simplicity and less rhetoric. I've heard this taught differently, but with a lot of additives to it. I prefer the way that you shared it. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna.
If I
Yeah,
may.
thank you, Samuel. I don't know that I've ever encountered that third point and third idea of fasting being something for in under our covenant for kingdom purposes, but it makes so much sense when you think about that. You know what Jesus said. That while they while his followers were with him, they wouldn't be fasting.
Mm.
But when he was gone, they would be fasting. It's like, oh, okay. And that fits so nicely in with that. So, anyway, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to second that as well. I think for kingdom purposes, it's a very good way to think about it. Um, and I like the metaphor or parable about new wineskins.
Mhm.
I thought it's a lot there to explore. So thank you for that.
Yeah, that's very, I'm glad to hear that all of y'all have receiving it well, because like every other teacher, sometimes we get nervous. So, Paul?
Yeah, I just want to say, Samuel, that I like that. The way I'd been thinking about fasting and which I still do, is the humility aspect. It kind of goes with the sackcloth and cloth and ashes, with the kind of you can't lower yourself much more than that, you know, um, before God and for the purpose of a request, the showing the earnestness of what it is you're asking. You're not just, it's easy, words are easy, you can just say them so easily, but when you back up your request with fasting and humbling yourself before God like that, and really putting yourself on the line by not eating and so on for an extended period of time, it really shows the earnestness of your request before God. We can't make God do anything, but we can certainly show our earnestness, I think.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Suzanne?
Hi, Sergio. Just saw you pop in. Good to see you. Yeah, well, you guys know I've taught on fasting, and I feel very strongly about it as um, something that we're called to do. Jesus didn't say if you fast, do this and this and that. He said when you fast. So first of all, being prayerful and asking God at times whether fasting would be appropriate is really a good thing. I mean, when I do my fasts that are um really really aiming at seeking God's will in my life, and or seeking some wisdom, seeking for him to move things in a powerful way, as some of you know. And like Donna was very supportive of me when I did my fast last year. It was a really interesting experience that I shared some of, because when I got to day 10, I was just going to keep going. I usually, when I get to a place of like a really serious fast, I tell God I'm never going to eat again until he does something, until he moves or answers me or something, because I'm like, I will starve to death, before I start eating again if you don't answer me. I know it sounds kind of like I'm threatening God or something like that. But it's like just being really clear about the seriousness of the desire to hear from God. And so it was really funny because I remember last time on day 11, I mean, I got to day 11 and I thought, oh, my fast is over, because God really makes it really clear. Like when I start a fast that's that serious, it's really it's very transformative, and it's very otherworldly, and I don't know how to explain it, but as soon as I start that fast, I completely lose my desire to eat, because really, God just takes that away so that I can focus on what I'm dealing with, prayer, reading the Bible, whatever, I'm meditating on the issues that are in my heart. And I always know when it's time to stop fasting because all of a sudden I get really hungry. And that's what happened. Like on day 11, I was just cruising, like this is great. I'm loving it. And all of a sudden I just really had this craving to eat. And I felt like, why do I feel like this fast is done? I feel like I haven't had any answers. But it was Michelle and Donna who got the answers. And Donna contacted me and said, "We need to talk." And she said she had been praying like crazy my whole fast, supporting my fast, which is another thing. You can ask people to pray for you during your fast, to support your fast for what you're doing. And you can have a whole prayer team. I've had strangers call me from Hawaii and tell me, "I heard you were fasting and I'm praying for you." I'm like, "What?" And give me amazing insights. So God works in like really powerful ways when you dedicate yourself to a fast. And just a caveat, like a lot of people can't fast. It's not good for their health. So you can support fasting other people's fast. So, just that's something to think about. You shouldn't feel guilty if you have like serious hypoglycemia or something or diabetes or whatever, and you can't, go on a fast. God is not going to expect that from you. But it was interesting. So Donna and Michelle got me on Zoom and had all kinds of words from God for me about my fast and said, "Yeah, yesterday we got all this download from God about your fasting." And that's obviously why I realized that I was supposed to stop fasting, even though I didn't know why. So it was really powerful, the words that were shared with me that are still in my heart and things I pray about a lot. And I just can't emphasize enough how amazing and powerful fasting is. It's not so much like you're just beating yourself and depriving yourself of something so that you can prove to God that you really love Him. It really is like an altered mind state. I don't want to compare it to drug experiences, but it is like a weird altered state. I mean, it is weird to like go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 days without eating and not care and not feel. I mean, you usually feel way more energized, you sleep better, it's like, what was it like Daniel and the boys in Babylon? Like they said, "Look, we're not going to eat your food," and God blessed that and gave them all this great health and strength and everything. While they were eating fruits and vegetables, which is good for you anyway. But you know what I mean. So like, sorry, I'm blabbing for all this. I'm really passionate about this. I kind of feel like I'm almost getting ready for another fast. But yeah, I just, it's something to pray to God about. And whether it's just a fast for a day or it's a fast, for whatever. Um, I just feel like it's definitely a partnership with God. Like when you do it, it's sort of like you're making kind of an agreement. Okay, God, I'm going to fast. You're going to support me. You're going to bring people into my life and people to give words to, and I'm going to be faithful and keep to my fast until you tell me I'm done, and then I'll just go back to eating again. All right, I don't know if that's helpful for anybody, but it's just been an amazing experience for me.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I like what you mentioned there, which is that obviously fasting, if you do a food fast, that can be very intense, and some people can that might not be the wisest thing for them to do. But there are, and that's one of the reasons why I push that um the real purpose or the principle behind fasting is the humbling yourself. I didn't go into the Isaiah 53 passage, but there God says, "Hey, is fasting the way that I want you to humble yourself? You have all these other things, all these other issues where there's injustice and all these kinds of things. The way that I want you to humble yourself, I don't care about the eating. Go and serve the poor. That's what I care about. Go and give justice to the needy. That's the way that I want you to humble yourself before me." And so, yeah.
I think that's
um,
Isaiah 58, but yeah, I
Oh yeah, sorry.
love
Yeah,
that.
you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that chapter is like one of my favorite chapters in scripture, so something we should all read.
yeah, yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Sergio. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, thank you for your teaching and thank you for bringing up this topic. Um, so the only time I've fasted is for selfish reasons to help me lose weight. Um, and I'll just say, when you were teaching one, and Suzanne's comments made a good point as well. Jesus doesn't say if, he says when you fast. So it's, again, with with a few exceptions of people who just can't. It's something that Jesus makes clear we should be doing. And I know one of the things that has come up for me is that, what does Paul say? I boast in my weakness. And, it's really, I heard one time somebody say, it's really easy to do a praise report about, I got this new job, which is a great thing. It's not like you shouldn't be doing that. But then again, if we have help overcoming a weakness in our area, maybe an addiction or a character flaw or something along those lines, all of a sudden, those things aren't praise reports we share too often, at least not publicly anyways. And maybe that's also wise sometimes. But when you were teaching, or when Suzanne was sharing, I think it was when she was sharing, it reminded me of when Jesus says, his response to the devil when he's been fasting is, we don't live by bread alone, but by the words of God. And, some people like to eat. I think we all enjoy eating. I love eating. I don't understand people that if they have a sad moment, they don't eat. I'm like, that's the time to overeat, not undereat, which is actually not true. That's bad advice that I just spoke. But that's, I guess, my relationship with food is, if I'm feeling down, my temptation is not to fast. It's to use food as an escape, or to cope with, or at least that has been my issue. And lately that I've been fasting for the purpose of trying to get healthier, and I've only fasted breakfast. So I eat around 11:30. But and it's not like some mornings, it's like 90+% of mornings, I have this terrible hunger in the morning. And what's helped me a lot of times, and this is a principle that I think can apply to fasting, or at least it has for me lately, but to any area where we're feeling weak, is I go back to Matthew 5, verses 3, 4, 5, and 6. And it's this, what you brought up, which is humbling yourself before God. It's this, I am so weak that it's like, here I have this opportunity to do something positive in my life, and because of discomfort, I'm going to throw it away. That makes no sense. That's one of the things that kind of started me on this journey of trying to get healthy lately. Is like, I thought to myself, I'm going to go the next 30 years of my life, 40 years of my life, however long I live, and I'm going to be unhealthy because I won't be uncomfortable. I thought, that sounds ridiculous. Like, I got to be willing to be uncomfortable. But when the discomfort hits, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose my mind. This feels terrible. Like, I can't go through this. That's the feeling I have. But when I go back, that's why I go back to Matthew verse, and not that it's only taught there, but that's one of the sections that has been powerful for me many times when I engage with it, which Matthew 5, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which is, wow, God, I am truly hopeless here. So I have to humble myself before you so that I won't be hopeless, because that's the only hope I have. Kind of reminds me of, Abraham, against hope, he kept his hope in God. And so going back to when Jesus, what's the word I'm looking for? He responds to the devil's temptation by saying, that verse is very literal in that moment for Jesus. We don't live by bread alone. And there's been many times where I feel hungry and I want to eat, and then I think to myself, wait a minute, let me just take a deep breath. And I literally take a deep breath, and I'm like, am I really dying right now? 40, 50 pounds overweight. Am I really dying in this moment? No. And so it's like a lot of fasting is, I think it's physical, but it's actually mental. And there's been times when I've only eaten once in the day. And it's like there's these moments of discomfort, but the point is that, I guess I'm hopefully not rambling too much, but the point is that your teaching is so important, because it's it's such a real, very tangible feeling that we can, what do you call it? I don't know. It's just like, wow, I really have to put this feeling that I need this to the side and actually rely on Him to give me strength in my mind and in my body to go through with it. So, anyways, I just wanted to share that, and thank you for your teaching, because, like I said, it's a topic that is really, really important. So, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your comments and sharing your experiences. Stephen Phyllis.
Uh, yes, thank you so, excuse me, thank you so much, Samuel. Uh, your scriptures and everybody's comments have really caused me to, really give thought to this, and how it's almost like an intentional, self-imposed test to provoke us to surrender, which leads to humility. And I really appreciated those scriptures you gave in terms of how, God's way is to, he exalts the humble. He resists the proud. Um, Another thing, when you started to speak of the words of Jesus about the wineskins, this is new covenant language. And we've been studying Hebrews, and we can see, you mentioned that there were certain things that were fading away, changing. This language of Jesus is new covenant language. It was a time I never would have thought about it in terms of being new covenant language. But there were some things that was changing, not going against the old covenant, but exceeding the old covenant. And so, and I'm thinking, what's changing about it? What makes it better? Why can't we put the uh the new skin onto the old? What makes the new better? And one thing is, we talk about, and all this is Old Testament, uh, the application of the Holy Spirit and how it's given today. The priesthood. I mean, imagine being a Jew back then, and the whole priesthood it was fading away and becoming where Jesus was the better mediator. Jesus would be the high priest. And Hebrews tells you why. Because he took on immortality. The sacrifice was changing. Those things were fading away. It no longer would it be after the order of Levi. It would be after the order of Melchizedek, who was king and priest. Those things were fading away. There was a transition going on. And as you were just going into those scriptures, it just really brought even what I'm learning from Hebrews more and more alive to me. And I'm realizing so many things that Jesus said that they rejected because they did not understand it. A lot of those things were new covenant concepts. And I don't know. Thank you. I appreciate it. Lots and lots to think about.
Yeah, thank you. I'm always grateful for y'all's encouraging words. It really does take effect. Donna, do you have something you wanted to close us out with? Are you muted?
I just want to impart something to our fellowship, and I want you to hear it from, we talk about obedience, and, we say a lot of stuff and a lot of great teaching. And um, I've been praying with a friend of mine because we were on assignment, and it's about the prophetic thing. I had so much trouble this week, not because I couldn't pray. And I'm like, Lord, what is the problem? Because I pray a lot. I speak in tongues in my mind, can't sleep at night. And so I fill in and I'm praying for it, but I really struggled in prayer this week. I mean, with my dear friend, and we're known in the community as prayer partners, as the prophetic. We were pathetic this week. And I said, I'm going to get back to my friend and share this with her. And I kept asking the Lord this morning in tears, Father, I know that I'm doing something not right. Show me what it is. And I heard in my heart, you want to make sure you hear Samuel's teaching today. I heard that clearly. It never dawned on me this week. I mean, I have a duty right now to a friend of mine, and I couldn't get the prophetic right. Now, this has not really ever happened to me. Stuck in my head, stuck, head up my whatever, couldn't get it right, felt very much a struggle. No, there's not demons, but my unbelief was tremendous. There are times I have fasted face down and I don't wrestle. It's there. And sometimes you can pray hourly. It's not this, oh, I prayed for 6 minutes, God, thanks. Jesus prayed all night. And so I knew that I was in a battle, but it was with myself. It was not with God. And it was about prayer. And I had an assignment that I was supposed to get to. I haven't gotten back to it. And it never dawned on me. And I knew that the Lord spoke to me and he said, do not miss this morning's teaching because Samuel was going to bring something. I needed to hear this, especially with the prophetic. It's pathetic. You just don't go to God, give me something now. No, 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 no. And the thing I love, the takeaway, and I'm going to share this with my friend because we both need to be doing this. We're on a journey together as a team, and we need this. And I'm going to share, I hope you don't mind, I'm going to share this stuff. The takeaway of this whole thing was the gem in the book of Acts that you presented. That clicked for me. And now I know what I was doing wrong and what I need to further fulfill, the type of ministry the Lord gave me. It never dawned on me not to fast. And I always remember to do that if I'm on a big assignment. So thank you so much that the Lord put this in your heart. It's a true blessing and a very prophetic word to me, and I so needed it. And so I just thank you, Samuel, for showing up this morning, and you helped me out, man. I'm sharing this. It's a big deal for me right now, and I'm so blessed with this. I feel very relieved and very blessed with this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.